All right, everybody, as promised, I have a second DC video today. And yes, I actually read comics. I'm not just a movie fan, but I am a DC Comics fan and have been actually collecting 90% Batman since 1987 and probably own about 5,000 comics. And so, yes, I actually read comics. And right now, DC is in the middle of a storyline that is a good jumping off point for anybody who wants to get into DC Comics. So if you've ever thought about collecting comics or reading comics, now is a good jumping on point. Now, I can't guarantee how good the story is going to be in the future, but I am really enjoying. I haven't been this excited about DC Comics in many, many years. And right now, the storyline is called Absolute Power, which is leading into an all-in storyline that is going to kick off October 2nd. And we're going to look at what the synopsis is for Absolute Power, and then we're going to talk about what it's leading into, and I'm going to show you some pretty cool covers for the first issue that's going to be coming out for these new comics that are going to be shipping in October. And if you want to get these and you like any of the variants, you're going to want to get with your local comic shop and have them order it before there are none available, because they are going to sell out. But let's take a look. So here it is. It says Absolute Power is a 2024 comic book crossover event published by DC Comics as part of the Dawn of DC initiative. The storyline, written by Mark Waid, with art by Dan Mora and colors by Alejandro Sanchez, debuted on July 3rd, 2024, and will conclude on October 2nd, 2024. The plot: Amanda Waller, driven by her obsession with controlling chaos and crisis, launches a global assault on every superpowered being on the planet, seeking to rob them of their powers and restore humans as the dominant force on Earth. This event marks a significant shift in the DC Universe, as Waller's actions threaten the very fabric of superheroism. Key characters: Amanda Waller, the main antagonist, driven by her desire for control and order. Justice League members, various heroes including Green Arrow, Queen Dreamer, Failsafe, and others, who find themselves targeted by Waller's efforts. Now, I wouldn't call Failsafe is not a Justice League member, okay? I just want to make that clear. The Failsafe storyline is one of the better and more well-written Batman stories that have come out over the last couple of years, and if you're interested in the Absolute Power, I would also pick up, they just came out with a trade paperback for the Failsafe storyline for Batman, and anybody wanting to get into it, that's where I would jump off. Read the Failsafe storyline, and then you'll kind of understand what's going on with the Absolute Power when it starts. Goes on to say Brainiac, a potential ally or foe depending on his motivations, and there's an interesting twist with Brainiac in this. Themes: the struggle for power and control, the consequences of unchecked authority, the nature of heroism and its role in society. The reception: this is where things get interesting. I'm really enjoying this so far. Early reviews have praised the event's emotional impact, with Absolute Power #1 described as an emotional shot of adrenaline that brings back the sense of terror and certainty found in classic comic book events. The storyline has also been praised for its potential to shake up the DC Universe and challenge readers' expectations. Notable issues: Absolute Power Special Edition, which was free with the Comic Book Day 2024, a one-shot prelude to the event, written by Mark Waid and illustrated by Mikel Janin. Absolute Power #1, which came out July 2nd of 2024, the first issue of the main limited series kicking off the global assault on superpowered beings. All right, so just so you know, there's right now there are going to be 4 issues to Absolute Power. The second issue just came out, I believe, last week or the week before. But there's also some offshoots of this, some limited series of like Task Force, I believe it's 9 or 7, something like that. There are some offshoots to Absolute Power, but you can go get those at your local comic shop and collect the story if you're interested. Now, what this is going to lead into is this picture right here, which is pretty cool. They're calling it All In, but it's the new kind of like the dawn of the DC Universe. This all has to do with Absolute Power here. Oh, they're not showing what I wanted to show you. Interesting. Let's go back here. But this has to do with Darkseid, and there's basically going to be your main DC storyline, and then there's also going to be this this other storyline on the other side called like Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and Absolute Superman. And we're going to take a look at the covers for these because they're pretty interesting. All right, so here is the post from Gatecrashers. DC has revealed brand new looks at covers and logos for Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and Absolute Superman. These are the logos for these characters, and just so you know, these characters are more hardcore than the main DC heroes. For instance, Bruce Wayne doesn't have any money. He's not a rich guy. He doesn't have all those resources, doesn't have a butler. And so it's going to be a very different, more hardcore Batman, and we're going to take a look at what some of these characters look like. So here is the cover for Absolute Batman. This is written by Scott Snyder. I am looking forward to this one. This is the one storyline I'm very much looking forward to, and if you want to compare this to anything that Marvel is doing right now, it's kind of like their universe. I forget the name of it. I'm picking up the Spider-Man. I'm reading the Spider-Man storyline right now, but it's an alternate, basically, version of these characters in a separate universe. And so Absolute Batman is one that I'm very, very much looking forward to, and that is a killer cover right there. Here is the Absolute Wonder Woman. She's kind of got some tattoos, kind of going the way of Aquaman, has been in the DCEU. So this should be interesting. All right, and here is the Absolute Superman, and this is my favorite of all of the covers. And I'm actually going to show you guys some variant covers that are coming out by Jim Lee, which are incredible for each of these three heroes, the Trinity, and in this alternate universe. And I'm going to show you something interesting about the costume of Superman, which definitely is taking its inspiration from Zack Snyder's Superman. So let's take a look. So here is the Jim Lee cover for Batman. That is pretty freaking awesome. In fact, I'm going to check and see if my comic shop is going to have enough of these available, if they're not too expensive, to pick this up when it does release in October. So let's take a look at Wonder Woman and especially the Superman cover. So here is the Wonder Woman cover. This is very, very interesting. Again, this is a Jim Lee specific cover. That's pretty awesome. She definitely looks like a warrior. That is one big sword there. But let's take a look at the Superman cover. So here it is for Superman. And what suit does that remind you guys of? Especially where the belt is. This is very much taking inspiration from Man of Steel. I'm digging the longer hair. It's going to be interesting to see how this character plays out, and if he's as as laid back as the traditional Superman is. But it looks like we're going to get a darker look at these characters with this Absolute storyline. Like I said, everybody, now is a good time to jump on the DC bandwagon for comics if you haven't ever in the past, and check out these storylines. You could even probably kick it off with the All-In initiative with this Absolute storyline that is going to be picking up here in October. But I am very much looking forward to this. Like, I haven't been this excited about comics in a very long time. In fact, some of the storylines, especially over the last 5 years, have just been downright terrible. It's only over the last couple of months where it looks like they are starting to do something more cohesive and interesting with these characters. There was a period of time where they hired the cheapest talent and were really just cranking stuff out and not really caring about what the audience thought about it, that they were doing some driven agendas. And it looks like they're now getting back to real good storytelling. And I, for one, am excited for it. So what do you guys think about all of this? If you read comics, if you're reading Absolute, or not Absolute, but the Absolute Power storyline right now, what do you think of it? What are you excited for moving into the future here? I will be covering this storyline as we move forward. I do appreciate all the support. I am looking for 20,000 subs. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up. We will see you guys on the next video.